First contact. The massive starship Horizon dropped out of hyperspace, its sleek hull gleaming in the light of an alien sun. On the bridge, Captain Elena Reyes took a deep breath, her dark eyes fixed on the swirling purple and green orb that filled the main view screen. Sirius Prime, she murmured. Home of the Sirians. Let's hope they're in a welcoming mood. Her XO, Commander Jackson Chen, stepped up beside her. All systems nominal, Captain. We're being hailed by the Syrian High Council. Elena nodded, squaring her shoulders. Put them through. The view screen flickered, revealing a being that looked almost, but not quite, human. Its skin shimmered with an iridescent sheen, and its eyes were large, multifaceted orbs that seemed to take in everything at once. Greetings, visitors from Earth, the alien said, its voice a melodious trill. I am High Counselor Zixara. We have long awaited this day. Elena bowed slightly. High Counselor, I am Captain Elena Reyes of the United Earth Alliance. We come in peace and friendship, hoping to establish diplomatic relations between our peoples. Zixara's face tendrils rippled in what Elena hoped was a positive gesture. We are pleased to hear this, Captain. However, before formal negotiations can begin, there is a matter of cultural significance that must be addressed. Elena felt a prickle of unease. This was the moment xenanthropologists had warned about, the potential for misunderstanding that could derail everything. Of course, High Counselor, we're eager to learn about and respect your customs. The alien's multifaceted eyes seemed to glitter with amusement. It is an ancient tradition among our people. Any outsider seeking to forge bonds with the Syrian people must first undergo the Rite of Zamthul. The Rite of Zamthul, Elena repeated, trying to keep her voice steady. And what does this rite entail? Zixara's tendrils waved in a complex pattern. The specifics will be revealed upon your arrival, but I can tell you that it is a test of character, endurance, and adaptability. Will you submit to this rite, Captain Reyes? Elena glanced at Jackson, who gave an almost imperceptible nod. They had come too far to turn back now. We would be honored to participate in your tradition, High Counselor. Excellent, Zixara trilled. A delegation will meet you at the landing coordinates we're transmitting. Prepare yourselves, Earth dwellers. The Rite of Zamthul will challenge you in ways you cannot imagine. As the transmission ended, Elena let out a long breath. Well, that was cryptic. Jackson frowned. Captain, are you sure about this? We have no idea what we're walking into. Elena's lips quirked in a wry smile. When has that ever stopped humanity, Commander? Assemble the landing party. Whatever this rite is, we'll face it head-on. Hours later, Elena stood at the foot of the Horizon's landing ramp, the alien atmosphere of Sirius Prime swirling around her. The sky above was a riot of purples and greens, punctuated by the glow of 3 moons. Strange, bioluminescent plants pulsed with an otherworldly rhythm, casting eerie shadows across the crystalline structures that served as the Syrians' buildings. Beside her, Dr. Amelia Frost, the mission's lead xenanthropologist, was practically vibrating with excitement. This is incredible, Captain. The atmospheric composition, the flora, it's like nothing we've ever encountered. Stay focused, Doctor, Elena cautioned. We're here to make a good impression, not collect samples. As if on cue, a group of Syrians approached, their iridescent bodies seeming to shimmer and shift in the alien light. At their head was a figure Elena recognized from the earlier transmission, High Counselor Zixara. Welcome to Sirius Prime, the alien intoned, spreading its arms wide. We are honored by your willingness to participate in our sacred tradition. Elena bowed deeply. The honor is ours, High Counselor. We look forward to learning more about your people and your ways. Zixara's face tendrils rippled in what Elena was beginning to interpret as amusement. Indeed, follow me, and all will be revealed. As they walked through the alien city, Elena couldn't help but marvel at the strange beauty of it all. The buildings seemed to grow organically from the ground, their crystalline surfaces refracting the light in mesmerizing patterns. Syrians of all shapes and sizes went about their business, some pausing to stare curiously at the human visitors. Finally, they arrived at a massive structure that pulsed with an inner light. Zixara turned to face the human delegation, its multifaceted eyes glittering. "This is the Temple of Xanthul," the High Counselor announced. "Within these walls, you will face the challenge that will determine the future of our people's relationship." Elena steeled herself. "We're ready, High Counselor. What must we do?" Zixara's tendrils waved in a complex pattern. "The rite of Xanthul is a test of unity, Captain Reyes. One member of your party must enter the temple alone and navigate its challenges. But here is the true test. The chosen one must form a temporary psychic bond with every member of your crew." Elena blinked, taken aback. "A psychic bond? I'm not sure I understand." "It is a melding of minds," Zixara explained. "The chosen one will carry the thoughts, memories, and essence of your entire crew into the temple. Only by drawing upon the collective strength and wisdom of your people can the challenges be overcome." Dr. Frost stepped forward, her eyes wide. "Fascinating. A test of collective consciousness and shared experience. But how is this bond formed?" Zixara's body shimmered, and suddenly a small, pulsing orb appeared in its hand. "This is the sphere of unity. Your chosen representative must take it into themselves, allowing it to forge the connection between minds." Elena frowned. "Take it into themselves? You mean swallow it?" "Precisely," Zixara confirmed. A tense silence fell over the human delegation. Elena's mind raced, weighing the potential risks against the importance of their mission. Finally, she squared her shoulders and stepped forward. "I'll do it," she declared. "As captain, it's my responsibility to represent my crew and my people." Zixara's tendrils rippled approvingly. "A noble choice, Captain Reyes. Are you prepared to begin?" Elena took a deep breath, looking back at her crew. Their faces showed a mix of concern and determination. She gave them a reassuring nod before turning back to the High Counselor. "I'm ready," she said firmly. Zixara held out the sphere of unity, its surface swirling with colors as seemed to shift and change with every heartbeat. Elena reached out, her fingers closing around the warm, pulsing orb. "May the wisdom of your people guide you," Zixara intoned solemnly. With one last look at her crew, Elena raised the sphere to her lips and swallowed it whole. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, a wave of sensation crashed over her, nearly driving her to her knees. It was as if every neuron in her brain had suddenly lit up, flooding her consciousness with a cacophony of thoughts, memories, and emotions that weren't her own. She gasped, overwhelmed by the sheer volume of information pouring into her mind. She could feel Jackson's steady determination, Dr. Frost's insatiable curiosity, and the hopes and fears of every single member of her crew. It was beautiful, terrifying, and utterly alien. As the initial shock subsided, Elena found herself standing before the massive doors of the Temple of Xanthul. They swung open silently, revealing a corridor that seemed to stretch into infinity. "The rite of Xanthul begins," Zixara announced. "Remember, Captain Reyes, the strength of your people goes with you. Use it wisely." With a final nod to her crew, Elena stepped into the temple, the doors closing behind her with a resounding boom. Whatever challenges lay ahead, she knew she wouldn't face them alone. The collective knowledge and spirit of humanity burned within her, ready to be called upon. The first test of the rite of Xanthul had begun. The trials begin. Captain Elena Reyes stumbled forward, her mind reeling from the psychic connection to her entire crew. The Temple of Xanthul stretched before her, its crystalline walls pulsing with an eerie, otherworldly light. As she took her first steps, a disembodied voice echoed through the chamber. "Welcome, Earthchild," it intoned. "You carry the essence of your kind within you. Now face the trials that will determine your people's fate." Suddenly, the floor beneath Elena's feet vanished. She plummeted through darkness, a scream tearing from her throat. Just as panic threatened to overwhelm her, she felt a surge of calm wash over her, the steady nerves of her pilot, Lieutenant Saro Wong, flowing through their mental link. With newfound clarity, Elena twisted in midair, angling her body to slow her descent. She landed in a crouch on a platform of shimmering energy, her heart pounding. "Impressive reflexes," the voice commented. "But how will you fare against the maze of mines?" The platform expanded, forming a labyrinth of translucent pathways suspended in a void of swirling colors. Elena stepped forward cautiously, only to recoil as a tendril of energy lashed out at her. "Each path holds the memory of a different alien species," the voice explained. "Choose wrongly, and you'll be overwhelmed by foreign thoughts. Find the path that resonates with human consciousness to proceed." Elena gritted her teeth, focusing on the collective knowledge of her crew. Dr. Amelia Frost's xenobiological expertise bubbled to the surface of her mind. She began to analyze the energy patterns of each path, looking for signatures that matched human brainwaves. As she ventured deeper into the maze, alien memories assaulted her senses. She experienced the crushing depths of gas-giant oceans, the scorching heat of binary star systems, and the cold emptiness of intergalactic space. Each false step brought a new onslaught of alien perspectives, threatening to drown out her own identity. Just when it seemed hopeless, Elena felt a familiar warmth. She turned to see a path glowing with a soft, golden light. As she stepped onto it, a wave of human experiences washed over her, the laughter of children, the triumph of scientific discovery, the bittersweetness of love and loss. Tears streamed down her face as she ran forward, buoyed by the shared history of her species. She emerged from the maze gasping, her mind buzzing with the echoes of a million human lives. The disembodied voice spoke again, a note of surprise in its tone. "You've navigated the collective consciousness of your people, but can you harness it to overcome physical limitations?" The chamber shifted, and Elena found herself facing a sheer cliff face that stretched impossibly high. Strange, alien symbols crawled across its surface like living things. "Decrypt the code, and you'll find handholds to ascend," the voice instructed. "Fail, and you'll face a long fall." Elena's heart sank. She was no cryptographer, and the alien symbols meant nothing to her. But as she stared at the cliff, she felt the minds of her communications team stirring within her. Fragments of linguistic theory and pattern recognition algorithms flitted through her consciousness. With trembling fingers, Elena began to trace the symbols, her crew's collective knowledge guiding her hands. Slowly, maddeningly, a pattern emerged. It wasn't just a code, it was a multidimensional puzzle, each symbol shifting and changing based on its relationship to the others. As understanding dawned, handholds materialized in the cliff face. Elena began to climb, her muscles burning with the effort. But it wasn't just her own strength she was drawing upon. She could feel the determination of her security team, the endurance of her engineers, all flowing through her limbs. Higher and higher she climbed, the alien landscape below shrinking to a dizzying patchwork of color and light. Just as her arms began to shake with fatigue, Elena hauled herself over the top edge, collapsing onto a platform of smooth, cool stone. "Impressive," the voice acknowledged. "You've shown that humanity can adapt to alien challenges, but can you prove that your species is worthy of joining the galactic community?" The platform began to shift and change, forming into a perfect replica of the Horizon's bridge. But instead of her crew, Elena found herself surrounded by holographic aliens of various species, all staring at her expectantly. "Before you are representatives from 100 spacefaring civilizations," the voice explained. "Convince them that humanity deserves a place among the stars. You have one standard rotation of this planet to prepare your case. The fate of Earth hangs in the balance." Elena's mind raced. How could she possibly represent the entirety of human achievement and potential to such a diverse audience? As panic threatened to set in, she felt a calming presence wash over her, the steady logic of Commander Jackson Chen melding with the diplomatic finesse of their political officer. With newfound clarity, Elena began to formulate her strategy. She would draw upon the collective knowledge and experiences of her entire crew to craft an argument for humanity's place in the cosmos. It would be the ultimate test of everything they had learned and accomplished. The cosmic courtroom. As Captain Elena Reyes faced the holographic representatives of 100 alien civilizations, the Temple of Xanthul transformed around her. The simulated bridge of the horizon melted away, replaced by a vast amphitheater that seemed to float in the midst of a swirling cosmic nebula. Stars and distant galaxies glittered all around, a breathtaking reminder of what was at stake. Elena took a deep breath, drawing on the collective knowledge and experiences of her entire crew. She could feel Dr. Frost's scientific curiosity, Commander Chen's strategic mind, and the passion of every specialist on board the Horizon. With a confidence born from this shared consciousness, she began her plea for humanity. Esteemed members of the galactic community, Elena's voice rang out, amplified by the chamber's strange acoustics. I stand before you not just as a representative of Earth, but as a living embodiment of humanity's potential. Suddenly, holographic displays sprang to life around the amphitheater, showing scenes from Earth's history. Elena realized she could control them with her thoughts, drawing on the memories and knowledge flowing through her mind. Behold our journey, she continued, gesturing to images of early humans discovering fire, inventing the wheel, and building the first civilizations. We have risen from cave-dwelling primates to a spacefaring species in the blink of a cosmic eye. One of the alien representatives, a being that looked like a sentient cloud of glowing gas, pulsed skeptically. Many species evolve quickly. What makes humans unique? Elena smiled, feeling the surge of humanity's collective creativity. With a thought, she conjured a dazzling display of Earth's greatest artworks, from cave paintings to virtual reality installations. We are dreamers and creators, she explained. Our art, our music, our stories, they all reflect our unquenchable desire to understand and express the beauty of existence. Another alien, a towering insectoid creature, chittered doubtfully. Pretty pictures do not a worthy species make. What of your technological advancements? Drawing on the expertise of the Horizon's engineering crew, Elena brought forth holographic models of humanity's greatest inventions, from the simple lever to quantum computers and faster-than-light drives. Our technology evolves as rapidly as our imagination, Elena said proudly. We've gone from our first powered flight to landing on our moon in less than a century. Our drive to explore and innovate knows no bounds. A chorus of murmurs rippled through the alien audience. Some seemed impressed, others remained skeptical. A crystalline being that shimmered with internal light spoke next. Your achievements are notable, human, but what of your flaws? We have observed the conflicts that plague your world. How can a species so prone to violence be trusted among the stars? This was the challenge Elena had been dreading. But as she prepared to respond, she felt a surge of emotions from her crew, their hopes, their regrets, their determination to be better. In that moment, she understood exactly what to say. Yes, we have flaws, Elena admitted, her voice soft but unwavering. We've made terrible mistakes and caused great harm. But it's our awareness of these failings that drives us to improve. With a wave of her hand, Elena brought forth new images, of peace treaties being signed, of humanitarian aid being delivered, of scientists from former enemy nations working together to combat climate change. We learn from our mistakes, she continued, her voice growing stronger. We strive to overcome our baser instincts, and in our struggle to be better, we've developed something unique in the cosmos: empathy. Elena focused her thoughts, and the holographic displays shifted to show scenes of human compassion. Strangers helping each other in times of disaster, conservationists working to protect endangered species, volunteers teaching children in underprivileged communities. Our capacity for empathy extends beyond our own species, Elena explained. We seek to understand and protect all forms of life. This drive to connect, to understand the other, isn't this the very foundation of a thriving galactic community? The alien representatives murmured among themselves, their reactions a mix of surprise, curiosity, and lingering doubt. Elena knew she needed something more, something unexpected to truly prove humanity's worth. Suddenly, inspiration struck. Drawing on the deepest reserves of the collective human consciousness flowing through her, Elena began to sing. It was an ancient lullaby, its melody simple yet hauntingly beautiful. As her voice filled the cosmic amphitheater, the holographic displays shifted once more. Now they showed the vastness of the universe, swirling galaxies, newborn stars, the delicate dance of subatomic particles. But overlaid on these cosmic wonders were images of human perception, the awe in a child's eyes seeing their first rainbow, the determination of a scientist peering through a microscope, the wonder of an astronaut gazing back at Earth from space. As the last notes of the lullaby faded, Elena spoke once more, her voice thick with emotion. This is what we offer the galactic community. Not just our technology or our art, but our unique way of perceiving and appreciating the cosmos. We see wonder in the infinite and the infinitesimal. We seek to understand, to explore, to grow. And we long to share that journey with you all. A profound silence fell over the amphitheater. The alien representatives seemed frozen, their alien features unreadable. Had she failed? Had her display of human emotion and perspective been too alien for them to appreciate? Then, slowly at first but with growing intensity, a sound filled the chamber. It took Elena a moment to realize what it was: applause. Each alien species had its own way of showing approval, flashing bioluminescent patterns, emitting harmonic frequencies, releasing pheromones, but the meaning was clear. They were accepting humanity's plea. The disembodied voice of the temples spoke once more. You have done well, Captain Elena Reyes. You have shown that humanity, for all its flaws and potential, has earned its place among the stars. Relief washed over Elena, so intense that she felt her knees buckle. As she sank to the ground, overcome by emotion and the strain of channeling the collective human consciousness, the cosmic amphitheater began to fade away. Return now to your people, the voice said softly. But know that this is not the end of your trials. It is merely the beginning of humanity's greatest adventure. In a flash of light, Elena found herself back at the entrance of the Temple of Xanthul. Her crew and the Syrian delegation waited anxiously, their faces a mix of concern and hope. High Counselor Zixara stepped forward, its faceted eyes gleaming with an emotion Elena couldn't quite identify. Captain Reyes, it said sullenly, you have passed the rite of Xanthul, but I'm afraid our trials are not yet over. We have received a distress signal from the edge of our system. It seems your arrival has attracted unwanted attention. As if on cue, the sky above them lit up with the telltale flashes of ships dropping out of hyperspace. Elena's heart raced as she realized the true test was just beginning. Humanity had proven itself worthy of joining the galactic community. Now they would have to prove they could help defend it. Crew of the Horizon, Elena called out, her voice steady despite her exhaustion. Prepare for battle stations. It's time to show the universe what humanity can really do. As her team rushed to action, Elena couldn't help but smile. Whatever challenges lay ahead, she knew that the spirit of humanity, with all its flaws, potential, and inexhaustible determination, would rise to meet them. The greatest adventure in human history was about to unfold: the celestial siege. The sky above Sirius Prime erupted into a dazzling spectacle of light and energy as an armada of unknown ships dropped out of hyperspace. Captain Elena Reyes, still reeling from the psychic ordeal of the rite of Xanthul, snapped into action. Horizon, this is the captain. Battle stations. She barked into her communicator. And someone tell me what in the name of Earth we're up against. As her crew scrambled to respond, High Counselor Zixara's tendrils writhed in agitation. They are the Void Harvesters, the alien leader explained, multifaceted eyes fixed on the sky. A scourge that consumes worlds. They must have detected your hyperspace signature and followed you here. Elena's mind raced, drawing on the collective knowledge and experience still swirling in her consciousness from the right. "Counselor, we need to coordinate our defenses. What resources do the Syrians have?" Before Zixara could respond, a bone-chilling shriek filled the air. Elena looked up to see a massive, tentacled ship descending through the atmosphere, its surface rippling like liquid shadow. "By the cosmic egg," Zixara whispered. "That's their world ship. If it lands, all is lost." Suddenly, Elena felt a surge of inspiration, born from the combined intuition and scientific knowledge of her entire crew. "Maybe not," she said, a plan forming in her mind. "Counselor, does your world have a planetary shield?" Zixara's tendrils perked up. "Yes, but it's not powerful enough to repel an invasion force of this size." "It doesn't need to be," Elena grinned. "We're going to turn it into a weapon." What followed was a whirlwind of action. Elena, tapping into the engineering expertise flowing through her mind, worked with Syrian technicians to reconfigure their planetary shield. Meanwhile, the Horizon engaged the Void Harvester fleet in a daring holding action, its human crew working in perfect synchronization with Syrian defenders. In orbit, Commander Jackson Chen orchestrated a ballet of destruction, using the Horizon's advanced sensors to pinpoint weaknesses in the alien ships. "Target the fluctuating energy nodes on their port sides," he ordered, his tactical genius amplified by the lingering psychic link to Elena. On the planet's surface, Dr. Amelia Frost worked feverishly with Syrian scientists, her xenobiology knowledge merging with their alien technology. "If we can reverse the polarity of the shield harmonics," she muttered, fingers flying over holographic controls, "we might just pull this off." As the worldship descended, casting an eclipse-like shadow of the Syrian capital, Elena felt the weight of two civilizations on her shoulders. The reconfigured shield was their only hope, but timing would be critical. "All units, this is Captain Reyes," she broadcast on all frequencies. "Fall back to these coordinates. We've got one shot at this." The Horizon and its Syrian allies executed a fighting retreat, drawing the Void Harvesters into a tight formation above the planet. The worldship loomed ever closer, its tentacles reaching out as if to caress the doomed world. "Now," Elena shouted. Dr. Frost slammed her hand down on the activation panel. For a heart-stopping moment, nothing happened. Then, with a sound like reality itself tearing, the planetary shield burst to life, not as a defensive barrier, but as a massive energy pulse. The effect was catastrophic for the Void Harvesters. Their ships, caught in the pulse, began to warp and distort. The worldship writhed in agony, its liquid shadow surface boiling away to reveal a crystalline structure beneath. "Holy shit," Jackson breathed over the comm. "Captain, they're ships. They're made of dark matter. The pulse is forcing it back into normal space." Elena's eyes widened as understanding dawned. "All ships, concentrate fire on the exposed crystal structures." What followed was a light show that would be remembered in Syrian and human history for generations. The combined firepower of the Horizon and the Syrian fleet lanced out, shattering the suddenly vulnerable Void Harvester ships. The worldship gave one final, earth-shaking shriek before it exploded in a burst of light that momentarily outshone Sirius itself. As the blinding flash faded, Elena looked up to see the sky clear of enemy ships, nothing left but drifting debris. A cheer went up from humans and Syrians alike, the sound of two species united in victory. High Counselor Zixara approached Elena, its tendrils waving in what she now recognized as an expression of awe. "Captain Reyes," the alien leader said solemnly, "you have not only passed our test but saved our world. The Syrian people owe you a debt we can never repay." Elena smiled, feeling the last vestiges of the psychic link fading from her mind. "There's no debt between friends, Counselor. This victory belongs to both our peoples." As the celebration erupted around them, Elena couldn't help but reflect on the journey that had brought them here. From the mysterious rite of Samthul to this climactic battle, humanity had proven itself on a galactic stage. But even as she basked in the glow of victory, a small part of Elena knew this was just the beginning. The Void Harvesters were defeated, but what other wonders and terrors awaited humanity among the stars? As if sensing her thoughts, Zixara spoke again. "Captain, there is something you must know. The Void Harvesters, they are not the only threat lurking in the dark between worlds. Your actions here have rippled across the cosmos. Others will have taken notice." Elena nodded, a mix of excitement and apprehension coursing through her. "Then I suppose we'll have to be ready for them." As the twin suns of Sirius Prime set on this historic day, casting the alien landscape in a breathtaking array of colors, Elena gazed up at the star-filled sky. Somewhere out there, new adventures and challenges awaited. And thanks to the bonds forged in the crucible of this first contact, humanity would face them not alone, but as part of a greater galactic community. The Horizons mission was far from over. In fact, Elena realized with a thrill of anticipation, it had only just begun. Echoes of eternity. The celebration on Sirius Prime was cut short by a phenomenon that left both humans and Sirians in awe. As the debris of the Void Harvester's world ship rained down through the atmosphere, it began to coalesce into shimmering, opalescent spheres. Captain Elena Reyes watched in fascination as one of these spheres floated down to hover before her. "Dr. Frost," she called out, "what are we looking at here?" Before the xenobiologist could respond, High Counselor Zixara's tendrils writhed in a pattern Elena now recognized as extreme agitation. "The echoes," the alien leader whispered. "They were just a legend, until now." The sphere pulsed with an inner light, and suddenly, Elena felt a familiar sensation. The psychic link she had experienced during the rite of Zamthul was re-establishing itself, but this time, it wasn't just connecting her to her crew. Images and sensations flooded her mind. Vast starships traversing the space between galaxies, civilizations rising and falling across eons, and a looming threat that dwarfed even the Void Harvesters. "Captain," Commander Chen's voice crackled over the comm. "We're detecting massive energy spikes from those spheres. Whatever they are, they're interfacing with every piece of technology on the planet." Elena struggled to make sense of the flood of information. "It's not just technology, Jackson. It's connecting minds. Across species, across time itself." Dr. Frost's eyes widened as she scanned the nearest sphere with her tricorder. "Incredible. It's some kind of organic quantum computer." The Void Harvesters weren't a separate species. They were von Neumann probes gone rogue. As understanding dawned, Elena turned to Zixara. "Your people knew about this, didn't they? The rite of Zamthul, the psychic link, it was all preparation for this moment." The Syrian leader's multifaceted eyes seemed to shimmer with ancient sorrow. "We knew. Fragments. Echoes, passed down through generations. Our ancestors faced a threat so great it nearly wiped out all sentient life in the galaxy. These spheres, they contain the accumulated knowledge and experience of countless fallen civilizations." A holographic image sprang to life above the largest sphere, showing a galactic map with pulsing red points of light. Elena realized with growing horror that each point represented an invasion fleet, far larger than the one they had just defeated. The Harvesters were just the vanguard, Elena breathed. This is the real invasion." Zixara's tendrils drooped. "Yes, and it's happening all across the galaxy, right now." For a moment, the weight of this revelation threatened to crush Elena's spirit, but then she felt something else through the psychic link, not just the knowledge of long-dead civilizations, but their hopes, their determination, their refusal to go quietly into the night. With a surge of inspiration, Elena straightened her back and addressed the assembled humans and Syrians. "We're not alone in this fight," she declared. "Every species that fell to this threat, every civilization that was consumed, they've left us the blueprint for victory." She gestured to the pulsing spheres. "These echoes aren't just warnings, they're weapons, the accumulated knowledge of millions of years of galactic civilization, and we're going to use it." What followed was a montage of frenzied activity. Humans and Syrians worked side by side, interfacing the Horizon systems with the alien technology of the Echoes. Dr. Frost coordinated with Syrian scientists, decoding the vast library of xenotechnology suddenly at their fingertips. Commander Chen's tactical genius reached new heights as he assimilated battle strategies from 1,000 long-dead civilizations. "Captain," he reported, excitement clear in his voice, "I think I found a way to reactivate the ancient defense grid. If we can get it online, we might stand a chance." Meanwhile, Elena delved deeper into the psychic link, guided by the ethereal presences of long-dead alien heroes. She saw the rise and fall of empires, the terrible beauty of supernovas used as weapons, and the heart-wrenching sacrifices made in the name of survival. As the first wave of the true invasion force appeared at the edge of the Sirius system, Elena felt a calm certainty settled over her. She opened a channel to the combined human-Syrian fleet. "This is Captain Elena Reyes to all ships. What we face today is more than an invasion. It's a reckoning, a moment that will decide the fate of not just our civilizations, but all civilizations to come." The Echoes pulsed in harmony with her words, their light spreading to envelop the entire fleet. "We carry with us the hopes and dreams of countless fallen worlds. Their sacrifice has given us a chance, and we will not waste it." As she spoke, the ancient defense grid flickered to life. Massive energy weapons, hidden in gas giants and asteroid belts, powered up for the first time in millions of years. The Horizon systems merged with Syrian tech and the Echo's quantum processors, creating a hybrid fleet unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Today, we fight not just for ourselves, but for every species that has ever looked up at the stars and dreamed. Today, we become the echo that will resound through eternity. The enemy fleet emerged from hyperspace, a vast armada of world-killing ships that blotted out the stars. But as they approached, they found not cowering prey, but a united front of two young species wielding the power of galactic history. "All ships, execute Battle Plan Omega," Elena commanded, feeling the strength of 1,000,000 fallen heroes flowing through her. "Let's show them what happens when you threaten not just a world, but the very legacy of the cosmos itself." As the battle was joined, the sky above Sirius Prime erupted into a spectacle that defied description. Ancient weapons fired beams of concentrated starlight, while the horizon led a dance of destruction that seemed to bend the very fabric of space-time. And at the heart of it all stood humanity and the Syrians, two young species thrust onto a galactic stage, armed with the echoes of eternity and a determination to forge a future among the stars. The greatest battle in galactic history had begun, and its outcome would reshape the very face of the cosmos. The cosmic symphony, the battle above Sirius Prime, raged with an intensity that defied comprehension. Captain Elena Reyes, her mind linked to both her crew, and the ancient Echoes, orchestrated a defense that seamlessly blended human ingenuity, Syrian technology, and the forgotten weapons of long-dead civilizations. But as the conflict stretched on, it became clear that even this unprecedented alliance might not be enough. The enemy's numbers seemed endless, their world-killing ships replacing every loss with terrifying efficiency. "Captain," Commander Chen's voice crackled through the psychic link, tinged with desperation. "We've lost the outer defense grid. They're pushing through." Elena gritted her teeth, searching the vast library of knowledge within the Echoes for a solution. Suddenly, a memory that wasn't her own surfaced, a glimpse of a weapon so powerful it had only been theorized, never built. "Dr. Frost," Elena called out, her voice steady despite the chaos around them. "I need you to look into something called the harmony of spheres. It's not a weapon exactly, more like an instrument." As Frost dove into the Echoes database, Elena turned to High Counselor Zixara. "Counselor, does your species have any experience with large-scale psychic phenomena?" The Syrian leader's tendrils writhed in what Elena now recognized as deep thought. "There are legends of our ancestors communing with the planet itself, but they're just stories." "Maybe not," Elena interrupted, a plan forming in her mind. What if we could amplify the psychic link created by the echoes, not just between individuals, but between entire planets? Before Zixara could respond, Dr. Frost's excited voice cut in. Captain, I found it. The harmony of spheres. It's a theoretical device that could manipulate the fundamental frequencies of spacetime itself. Can we build it? Elena asked, hope rising in her chest. With the Echo's knowledge and Syrian crystal tech, yes, Frost replied. But Elena, using this could change the very nature of our reality. The risks are greater than the annihilation of all life in the galaxy. Elena finished grimly. We're out of options, Doctor. Make it happen. What followed was a frantic race against time. As a combined human-Syrian fleet fought a desperate holding action, Elena coordinated the construction of the harmony of spheres. The device took shape in the heart of the Syrian capital, a massive crystalline structure that pulsed with otherworldly energy. Finally, as the enemy breached the last line of defense, Dr. Frost's voice rang out. It's ready, Captain, but we need a focal point, someone to channel the combined psychic energy of both species. Without hesitation, Elena stepped forward. I'll do it. Elena, no. Commander Chen's protest echoed through her mind. The strain could kill you. We don't have a choice, Jackson, Elena replied softly. Then, addressing both humans and Syrians, she spoke with all the authority she could muster. Everyone, I need you to focus your thoughts on your homeworlds, on everything you're fighting to protect. Let those emotions flow through the psychic link. As Elena placed her hands on the harmony of spheres, she felt the weight of two civilizations press down upon her consciousness. The pain was indescribable, like her very soul was being stretched across the cosmos. But then something miraculous happened. Through the agony, Elena began to hear music. The fundamental frequencies of spacetime itself vibrating in response to the combined will of humans and Syrians. With the last of her strength, Elena began to play the harmony of spheres, her movements guided by the accumulated knowledge of the echoes. The crystalline structure resonated, sending waves of energy pulsing out into space. The effect on the invading fleet was immediate and catastrophic. Ships began to distort and twist, their very atoms struggling to maintain coherence as space-time fluctuated around them. But it wasn't just destruction. In the wake of the harmony, new forms began to take shape. Nebulae coalesced into vast, sentient beings of pure energy. Dormant defense systems, hidden in the very fabric of the galaxy, awakened after eons of slumber. And through it all, the combined consciousness of humanity and the Syrians reached out, touching minds across countless light years. As the enemy fleet disintegrated, replaced by wonders beyond imagination, Elena felt her grip on reality slipping. She had become a conduit for forces far beyond human comprehension, and her physical form couldn't withstand the strain. Just as darkness began to close in, Elena felt a familiar presence. The echoes, those fragments of long-dead heroes, surged forward. Their voices, once distant whispers, now rang out in perfect clarity. You have done well, child of Earth, they spoke as one. But your journey is not yet over. The galaxy needs you, not as you were, but as you could be. In a blinding flash of light, Elena felt herself change. Her consciousness expanded, merging with the harmony of spheres and the very essence of the reborn galaxy. When the light faded, the exhausted defenders of Sirius Prime looked up in awe. Where Elena had stood, there was now a being of pure energy, shimmering with all the colors of the cosmos. Elena, Commander Chen's voice quavered. Is that you? The energy being smiled, and when it spoke, it was with Elena's voice, layered with the wisdom of eons. It's me, Jackson, and yet, so much more. High Counselor Zixara stepped forward, its tendrils waving in reverent patterns. What happens now? The being that had once been Elena Reyes looked out at the transformed galaxy, her new senses perceiving wonders and possibilities beyond mortal ken. Now she said, her voice resonating with newfound power and purpose, we rebuild, we explore, We grow. She turned to the assembled humans and Syrians, her form flickering with starlight. Our species were young, thrust onto a galactic stage we barely understood. But together, we've done the impossible. We've not just survived, we've transformed the very nature of our reality. Energy tendrils reached out, gently touching the awed faces of her former crew. I can't stay with you, not as I was. The galaxy needs a guardian, a shepherd to guide the newborn wonders we've unleashed. But I'll always be watching, always protecting. As Elena's form began to dissipate, spreading out to merge with the fabric of space-time, her final words echoed across the stars. The age of isolation is over. Humanity, Syrians, you are the inheritors of a new cosmic order. Go forth, explore, and remember, in the darkest night, there is always hope. For we are all, truly, children of the stars. And with that, the being that had once been Captain Elena Reyes vanished, becoming one with the reborn galaxy. But her legacy remained, a universe transformed, two species united, and a future brighter than anyone could have imagined. As the stunned defenders of Sirius Prime looked out at their new reality, Commander Chen squared his shoulders. Well, he said, a mix of awe and determination in his voice, I guess we've got a lot of work to do. High Counselor Zixara's tendrils waved in agreement. Indeed, Commander. It seems our greatest adventure is only just beginning. Together, humans and Syrians turned their gaze to the star-filled sky, ready to embrace their destiny as custodians of a reborn cosmos. The echoes of countless fallen civilizations resonated through the galaxy, a symphony of hope for the ages to come. The end of one story had become the beginning of a far grander tale, one